In this video, I will talk about where we are now in the standards-based grading at the EAC Elementary School. Here's an overview of what I will talk about. First, we'll talk about what standards are. Next, we'll talk about the alignment of standards to units and assessments in Atlas. Thirdly, we'll talk about standards being attached to assessments in PowerSchool. Then, we will talk about what it looks like for students, how teachers are using rubrics and adjusting them for above grade level and below grade level readers. And lastly, we will talk about the next steps. EAC has adopted the Common Core standards. The standards begin in kindergarten and are completed in grade 12. Standards are expectations of what students should know and be able to do at the end of each grade. As you can see here, standards step up in complexity after each grade level. This ensures a pathway to success. Atlas is the documentation of our curriculum that is taught at EAC. Teachers have worked in Atlas all year to align the standards to the instructional units and assessments in those units. Here's an example of a teacher's unit being aligned. Here are the standards on the right side, and they're being attached to the assessment of that writing unit. PowerSchool is the way we report grades to parents. In PowerSchool, teachers are attaching standards in language arts, reading and writing, to the assessments that are given. You can see that a standard is attached by an S, and that will signify standards attached. This ensures that teachers are assessing the taught curriculum and that all standards in the grade level are being taught. Here is a conversion scale for the transition period into standards-based grading. On the rubrics, which you will see in the next couple of slides, it is a 4-point scale. Students getting a 1 or 1.5 are beginning toward the standard and need emphasis to improve and reach the standard. Students getting a 2 and 2.5 are approaching the standard. They're almost there, but not quite yet. Students getting a 3 are meeting the grade level standard. This is the expectation and where we want students to be by the end of each grade level. And lastly, students getting a 3.5 or a 4 are exceeding the standard. Now, from the 4-point scale, teachers are then converting it into a percentage to go on PowerSchool. You can see the conversion rate on this table. Now, here's an example of a rubric that teachers are using in class. The 3 is where we want students to be. This means they are meeting the expectations. Now, this is great for students that are reading on grade level. However, what happens to students that are reading way above grade level or way below grade level? Let's take a look. Here we have Sarah. Sarah is a 4th grader reading at a level Z. The grade level expectation is a T, so Sarah is well beyond the 4th grade reading level. So, she would get the same exact rubric that everyone else in the class got, yet at the bottom you can see that she's reading above grade level, so it will be adjusted. Sarah is getting 1s and 2s on the standards, reading a book that is well beyond her grade level. This means that she will still get a 3. Because it is not fair or accurate to say that she is not meeting the grade level standard when she is reading a book that is complex and above the grade level. Now, the same thing applies to students reading below grade level. Here's David. He's a 4th grader. He's reading at level J, which is well below the grade level of the expectation of a T. Again, David will get the same rubric and be assessed in the same way. However, we will adjust it by adding another row on the bottom. You can see that David is getting 3s and 4s, and he's able to do the skills and the standards. However, since he is not reading a book that is on grade level, it is not fair or accurate to say that he is meeting or exceeding the standards. So David would therefore get a 2. These rubrics are great because they show the progress and what David is able to do, yet it is accurate and reflects where he is in relation to the standard. Now, Where are we currently as a school? Currently, teachers have aligned instructional units to standards in the assessment in Atlas in our documentation of the curriculum. Classroom teachers have started to attach standards to the English language arts in PowerSchool this semester. English language arts teachers, which is the classroom teachers, are using 4-point scale rubrics, and then the student progress is then converted to a scale to a percentage. And lastly, teachers have started creating rubrics used and that will show the learning progression of the standards. Now, next, in 2015, we will have PowerSchool configured for a standards-based report card. Who will this apply to? It will apply to all grades 1 through 5, and that will be in classroom teachers, specialists, and BP program. What will it mean? Standards will be reported for all subjects, and students' grades in PowerSchool will show their progress of each standard. There will be no overall percentage grade that will be recorded or reported. That's where we are in the process of becoming standards-based. Please let Ms. Baker or myself, Ms. K, know if you have any questions. Thanks.